The drama between two lovers is nowhere to be interesting until the third party chimes in. And in the case of Wendy Williams and her ex-husband, we have none the less but the serpent Sharina Hudson herself daring to hiss about Wendy on her Instagram. Yeah, this crazy story is getting even crazier with each new day. But when Wendy basically told Sharina to finally get a job, she didn't expect any blowback. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Celeb Live Channel. We keep our eyes on the most scandalous events in the lives of your favorite celebrities, and there's nothing we like more than a good drama. Wendy Williams' ongoing feud with her ex-husband and his mistress Sharina Hudson is something we cannot miss, especially now when two women became roasting each other in the public. Hell yeah, Sharina Hudson had the nerve to clap back at Wendy. Was it a desperate move, or are these two on the brink of war? Stick with us to find out. You probably know that the initial conflict started when Kevin Hunter, Wendy's pathetic ex-husband, stopped receiving alimony payments. This man immediately came out of his cave and started whining about his financial hardships, saying how much he needed these monthly checks. And if, at first, he tried to act tough, probably being confident that he could persuade his ex-wife in resuming payments, he later realized that he and Sharina were played big time. His statements looked more and more ridiculous, and since the man might have run out of all ideas himself, his mistress came under the spotlight to finish what he couldn't. All that Kevin was able to do is to publicly complain about his overdue credit card payments and foreclosure. Well, judging by these statements, it seems that neither Kevin nor his mistress even thought about getting a real job and were expecting to have their posh lifestyle to be sustained by Wendy's fat checks. Since they haven't seen a dime from Williams for several months now and already tried everything to resume alimony payments, they have nothing else but to threaten Wendy with lawsuits. If Kevin was not exaggerating, their situation is close to critical because they simply have no savings to cover basic bills. He said, "My car insurance hasn't been paid as a result of not receiving my monthly severance payments. I am behind on credit card payments because I have no money since the severance payments were suspended. My life has been greatly affected since the plaintiff stopped making payments under our settlement agreement." But was Kevin expecting by publicly stating how broke and useless he actually was? Wendy had her own problems to deal with, and she was tired of babying this grown-up man and generously financing his love affairs. And she actually thought he had found a way to get rid of him and his greedy demands once and for all. You see, according to the settlement agreeing that Kevin seems to have signed in a hurry without reading, Wendy truly owns him nothing. Explaining to Hunter why the alimony stopped coming to his bank account, Wendy's attorney pointed to one very interesting clause in the divorce settlement agreement. It states, if, for any reason, plaintiff's contract with Taka W is not renewed or is otherwise suspended, canceled, or terminated and plaintiffs does not have any other television show being aired and paying her an equivalent salary, defendantee understands and agrees that all severance payment shall be subject to either termination or modification. And as you know, Wendy resigned from her TV show after 13 seasons of hard work and decided to properly deal with her health issues and mental problems. So no, Kevin, you are unlikely to get anything from your ex-wife. A source close to Wendy revealed that it was a well-designed plan to cut a couple of lovebirds off. Wendy does not feel sorry for her ex and his new family and is proud of her little scheme. Basically, she told them both to get a job instead of wasting her money on Chanel bags, fancy restaurants, and expensive cars. And we are on your side in this, Wendy, but it feels like Kevin and Sharina believe that desperate situations require extreme measures. As soon as Sharina realized that things went south for her boy, she was prepared to do anything to fight. And by anything, we mean that she opened her little mouth and started to spit out the poison about Wendy. This woman has some nerve. Apparently, the mere thought of getting a real job and actually working is so scary for Sharina that the woman simply went through the roof. She couldn't swallow her pride and let Kevin deal with the process. She stepped in and made throw shade at Wendy on her Instagram. She posted, "Happy and healthy is all I'm on right now. The clickbait is real. I guess they need a storyline to continue for a podcast." Why does it feel that the only thing Sharina stepped in with this reckless statement is a big pile of mud? Because, girl, you can't just diss the hand that was feeding you all these years like that. First, your lover is begging for money. Then you two threaten Williams with lawsuits. And now you decide to stoop so low as to publicly take it out on the only person who supported your lavish lifestyle for years? You might be completely delusional. And if you don't understand what it all means and how these words are related to Wendy, let us explain. Recently, Wendy announced that she wasn't coming back on TV, but plans to launch her own podcast show called The Wendy Experience Podcast. So we know that the new project will continue the legacy of the Wendy Williams show, and she's going to discuss some hot topics, but it's still unclear if any episode was already recorded. We think that Sharina is scared stiff of being roasted on that podcast, that she decided to accuse Wendy of things she hasn't even done, and she might have her reasons to be frightened. Many fans already don't like Sharina for ruining Wendy's marriage and aggravating her problems with alcohol. Yeah, Miss Hudson is not the most beloved persona in show business, considering the things fans write about her. One person commented, good morning, Twitter, to everyone in the world except for Kevin Hunter and Sharina Hudson for what they collectively did to Wendy, which later on caused her to lose her show. And another added, the side piece got a lot to say now that she's broke. Well, she knows how it is. Before he took her in, she was sleeping in her car. Go get a job. And here's another opinion that we all wish Sharina could see. Why can't Kevin make Sharina a star if they that desperate for money? He claims he has the skills since he says he helped make Wendy. I mean, Kelvin and Sharina are not of retirement age, so they can still work like everyone else. Why don't they just downsize? Kevin and Sharina could have just swallowed their pride and got normal jobs, but if they made up their minds to move against Wendy instead, they got themselves into a huge mess. Because knowing Wendy and her love to diss people, she is definitely going to shed some light on her divorce and drag her ex-husband and his mistress through the mud. We don't know about you, but the army of Wendy's fans is already waiting for her big comeback. Look what one person wrote on Twitter. I kinda miss Wendy Williams. Sure, she was a hater, but she wasn't afraid to roast anyone. Anyone could get it. She would praise someone one day and drag them the next. A menace and an icon in her own way. No wonder why Sharina looks so scared and tries to attack Wendy on social media. But honestly, does she have any shame inside her by going against the woman she should beg for forgiveness? Share your opinion in the comments below. And as usual, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel not to miss the next episode of this drama. It's going to be a wild one. We promise.